What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and I'm very excited today because I'm going to be sharing with you this amazing tool or plugin for Revit that's going to make your life a lot easier when it comes to working with topography and landscape in Revit. So this is called the environment tool or the environment set of tools. It's a plugin that gives you another tab in Revit and includes all sorts of really cool tools that help you out when it comes to working with topography and landscape architecture in Revit. It's designed by the Arc Intelligence company, and you can find it by following the link in the description, so just below the video. You can find it there, or you can contact your Autodesk reseller and ask about this amazing plugin. So I thought, why not take one of the most popular videos that I have on landscape, and it was actually a really tough video to create because I had to go through many different workarounds to get to the point where I can create a road in Revit, something that sounds so simple, yet it can be quite difficult in Revit. Well, with this plugin, it's tremendously easy, and I'm going to be showing you just how to do that. And also I'm going to be showing you the really cool approach to creating topography that this plugin has, and that's the ability to just draw simple model lines in space that kind of define the contour lines for your topography, and then you can set the elevations of all of these and turn them into actual topography. It's really amazing. It's just a few steps and you can pretty much achieve anything, and it really saves you a lot of time when it comes to working with topography. It's truly groundbreaking. Okay, so that's what this tutorial is going to be all about. So without any further ado, let's get straight into Revit.
And here we are in Revit. So let's immediately get started by going here to Models and then going to New. And for the template file, I'm actually going to be using my own personal Balkan Architect template, the metric version. Now, if you're interested in any of my templates, make sure to check out the links in the description. I have them on my website, balkanarchitect.com. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK now, and then Revit is going to start up. Let's wait for a few moments. Here we go. And what I'm going to be doing for this particular project, for this approach, and that's something that I would like to demonstrate, and that is how to use images in order to recreate those images, follow the contours from images in order to create your site. This is very common in the industry, landscape architecture. It's quite common to see something like this. So let's go here to Insert. And then I'm just going to go here to images, but before we do that, let's just switch here to the site plan because I like to place my images for the site, well, in the site plan. Let's now go here to image, and here I've got this contour lines image, so let's open it up and place it like this in the center. Now, something that you'll notice is here we have this little measurement that kind of graphically shows the scale. And then we have the design of the project that we're trying to create, just like in that original site video that they have. This is an image of that, the image of site plan. So let's first scale it into proportion, and then we can get started. So that's quite simple. You just select the image, you go here to the scale tool, it's on the modify panel, on the modify tab, the scale tool, or use the RE shortcut. You can come in here next to the ruler, click on the beginning. Next, go here to the end. And by default, this is going to be a graphical scale. So you just need to kind of scale it out. As you can see, the whole image increases in size. And once you come up to 10 meters, which is the kind of the length of this scale, graphical scale, we're going to click, and this is what we get. Now we can, of course, center it on the screen. And something that I like to do is just make quick selections of the elevation here, of all of the elevation symbols, and just kind of move them out of the way. Perfect. So once we have this in place, one quick thing is select the image and then go here to the Modify tab and click on Pin. You can use the PN shortcut. This is just going to make sure that it's locked in place, and that is exactly what you want to have. so you don't accidentally move it around. Okay, now we can get started building our topography. So here on the environment tab, which is what I'm going to be using in order to create this site most efficiently, it has an amazing set of tools. And what we're going to be doing first is using the model lines in order to recreate this topography. So instead of having to place points, which would be really annoying here, you would have to place so many points along all of these lines, and it would take a long time. It's extremely inefficient, boring, and your hand hurts after a while, after clicking for a significant period of time. So this tool allows you to simply go to the Architecture tab, go to Model Line, and then choose, in this case, let's choose a spline. And then you can simply go here and just trace over all of these lines. So we can go like that, hit the escape key a couple of times, and then we can kind of readjust this just to make sure that it's following that line as best as possible. Now, of course, you can place a few more of these kind of control points in between. In this case, because I just want the tutorial to be quite quick, let's do it quickly like this. So you can just use these little points to readjust and then move forward, model line, spline, and then just repeat following the contour lines that we can see in this image. And as you can see, it's quite quick. As you can, we've kind of covered half of this terrain in a really quick time. So that's what I really like about this tool. It allows us to use model lines, just place the contour lines, and then it's really easy to turn that into topography. Now, as you can see, I have completed all of the splines. It was quite quick to create, and now, of course, all of these model lines, model splines, are perfectly flat because they're placed on level 1. So if I go here to elevations, just to double check that, you can see we only see one, which means that they're kind of overlapping and they're completely flat. We can also double check that in the 3D view. Okay, now it's time to turn this from just a few model lines into actual topography with heights. But before we can do that, we actually have to set these up at certain heights. So you can do that by going back to the site plan. And let's actually just select the image for now and then go here to temporary height isolate and just hide that element temporarily. Okay, so now we have all of these contour lines, which are currently at the moment just simple model lines. But if I go here into the Environment tab, there we have the Model Lines option, and here we have our panel, and there we have the Set Elevation button. Now here I'm going to use the set elevation by crossing, and before we do anything, I'm just going to go back and first enter here all of the elevations. So here I have to enter the elevation, which is kind of the start elevation, and in this case, if I just go back here, as you can see, this starts from 22.5 meters of height. That's height above sea level, and you should probably always stick to height above sea level. It's just something that's common practice. It's a lot easier to orient in a space, and it's a lot easier on the terrain later on when the actual building is being built. Now I'm just going to hide this element back. Type that in over here, so that's 22.5, and make sure to hit enter just to confirm that that elevation. So if you don't click enter, it's not going to confirm it. Anyways, next we have the increment, which is going to be 0.5 meters. Again, make sure to hit enter. And then the reference level, as I said, we have the option to go from level 1, but I prefer absolute elevation or measuring from the sea level, which is a really great option that we have over here. Now, one quick thing that you should also do is go here to Model Lines and expand this Model Line Settings menu, which allows you to override the color of these model lines. Now, in this case, by default, it's set to black, but you can choose any different color. I'm just going to leave it at black. Next, we have the check elevation text type, so you can actually set which text type is going to be used to display the height of each of these contour lines or the elevation of each of these contour lines. And I've just set that to 3.5 Century Gothic. That's just one of the text types that we have with Revit. And that's something that's included in my template. Okay, and here we have the use check elevation symbol. That's exactly what I want to use. I want to display that number, so let's click OK. and then let's go here to set elevation. And a really cool option is the set elevation by crossing, which allows you to set elevation for multiple of these contour lines by clicking just once on the bottom and then once on the top. And as you can see, it's going to start from that 22.5 and it's going to go all the way up and use that increment all the way to the top. Now, just to double check if this did exactly what we wanted to do, we can go back to south elevation, and now as you can see, all of those model lines are up here. So they're not going to be down on level 1, which is something that you're going to probably avoid, because you don't want to have your ground level just at 0 at sea level. In most cases, it's somewhere above sea level, so make sure to have that accurate. But of course, people want their building to be set to a correct height, and that's something that's and that height or a level 1 height is going to be at 0 for our building, which is going to be over here, but more on that a little bit later on in the video. I'm going to be explaining how to adjust that properly. Okay, anyways, let's go back now to the 3D view. We have our elevations set. It looks perfect. We can go maybe here to right elevation. There we go. As you can see, we have that height. And now let's connect all of these and turn them into a topo surface. So you can simply just select all of these, go to the environment tab, and there we have the create surface. So you just click on create surface, and it's simply going to use all of those model lines, and it's going to generate topography using them. And now if we go to the site plan, as you can see, there we have our topography, and that's exactly what we want to have. Okay, now let's move on and start creating our road and our building. I'm just going to go here to temporary height isolate and reset that. Now we can't see it because we have topography over that image. So I'm just going to change the graphic display options or just the display to wireframe, but here it's currently being overridden by a view template, but I'm just going to change that to none, hit apply, okay. And now we can change that to wireframe and we can see the image below. Okay, so now we want to create this road and then adapt that road to the topography. So let me show you how something like that is done in this software. So what you want to do is go here to architecture, and then let's go to floor. Now I simply have to trace out this road, so I'm just going to use a simple line to start over here, maybe like that, go all the way here, and then we're going to have something that goes like that. Gonna readjust it a little bit, perfect, and then another line that goes like this. Now for the width of the road, I prefer using 6 meters, and then I'm just going to use the pick lines option with the 6 meter offset, and that's going to allow me to just offset this 6 meters all the way around. Perfect. And then you want to connect all of these using fillet arc, and you want to use the 6 meter radius on the inside, just like this. And then you want to use a 12 meter radius on the outside, like that. And of course, finally cap these off here and here. Okay, here it's already capped, perfect. And now if I hit finish, go to the 3D view, well, it looks like that. It doesn't look correct, but don't worry. So this new environment tab, this amazing plugin, it actually has a very useful feature which allows you to basically adapt this road or this floor onto this topography. So it's called the shape by topography. It simply works by selecting your road, or in this case the floor, hold the control key, select the topography itself, and then you go to that environment tab, go to shape by topography, click, and then here we have the shape floors dialog. So here we want the relative elevation, so the elevation relative to the site. So it's by default it's going to be at 0.1, which works perfectly fine for this situation. You can include points onto contours of the floor, that's okay, and project to side, this is the recommended option, so I'm just going to leave it checked there. Click OK, and then wait for it to just complete its work. complete its work. So it's just doing all of the calculations, and then it's going to adapt our road to our surface. Let's see that. And there we go. This is kind of the completed result that we get. It looks really cool. I really like it. And as you can see, it's completely adapted to topography. It follows everything perfectly. Now, you might be kind of annoyed a little bit with all of these lines, but don't worry about it. There's actually a very easy and straightforward fix. You just select that. You just go here into the view, and when nothing is selected in the view, you can go to Properties, which displays View Properties, and find the Visibility Graphics Overrides. Go into Edit, and then there we have, let's see, let's find the floors. There we go. Floors. Expand that a little bit, and then we have these interior edges, and if we just uncheck those and hit Apply and OK, as you can see now, this road is going to be smooth, and I think it looks really cool. And of course, the same thing goes here for the site plan. It's going to look like this, which is probably something that you don't want to have. So again, Visibility Graphics Overrides, find the floors category, expand it, and just hide interior edges. And there we go. So it's a really easy fix, and you might want to include it in your view template or something like that. I think it would be a good solution. So there we go. That's how can we adapt our floors to our topography. Now, speaking of going here to the to the south elevation, and we want our level 1 to be up here, but we also want it to be there at 0, 0. So how can we do something like this? Well, we have to just adjust the project base point to be somewhere over here where the actual project base point is supposed to be. Now, that's done quite simply by going to Visibility Graphics Overrides again. Then you want to search for the site category, expand that, and then you want to turn on the project base point. Hit Apply. Okay, there we go. Now keep in mind that we did not check the project survey point. We're not going to touch that. So we have the survey point, and we're not going to play around with that. The survey point should stay where it is because that's our sea level in this case. Let's click OK. Select the project base point. Make sure to unclip it, and then you can simply move it up. And then you can adjust it here. Now here it's going to display the elevation. Currently it's displaying this as being at 25. So let's just kind of fine tune this and make sure it just says 25, round it up. And then of course, make sure to select it and just clip it back in place. Now you will notice that the level 1 is at minus 25. So we just have to go here, click on the number, type in 0, and it's going to jump all the way up, but unfortunately our floor jumped with that. But again, that's an easy fix. Just go here to height offset from floor, type in minus 25, hit Apply, and it's back exactly where it should be. And of course this should go up. Perhaps this should be at 3.6 meters. And there we go. So now if you open up your level 1, you're going to be exactly here near your floor, and then you can start working on your building. So you can go perhaps and create a floor there or something like that. That's kind of in front of the building, just like that. Maybe extend it a little bit to include the building itself. Something like this. Let's go to trim and extend. Fix this up a little bit just to make it look nice. Perfect. And then we can build from there. So let's go to walls, set them to level 2. The location line, I'm going to go with the finish face exterior. Use a rectangle, just like that. Go to the second level, add a little roof. So let's go here to roofs. Use the pick walls option, and then let's give it a 0.6 meter overhang. Perfect. Hit finish. Go to the 3D view. And there we go. Now, of course, in this case, you're probably going to use here on the Massing and Site tab, the building pad. So you're probably going to just pick out the walls, or maybe pick out all of the lines from here. Follow the walls. Just make sure that everything looks correct. There we go. trim and extend, just to fix everything up. Perfect. I think that now we have a really cool looking house that's on the terrain and everything is fitting in properly. Maybe we can add our open door, maybe open it up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We have created our road, and as you can see, it was so simple, much easier than the previous method. We saved so much time, and it's no longer messy. We don't have those imported categories. The whole nightmare is gone. It's very simple, straightforward, and it gives you the actual solution that you want to have for this particular situation. So I think the combination of using these model lines as and turning them into topography, using that set elevation tool in order to set all of the heights, using the create surface to create the actual topography, and then adjusting the road by shape by topography. We have saved so much time, and I think it's really a game changer when it comes to creating site plans, and also when it comes to or when it comes to landscape architecture and using Revit for that. I think it's really cool. So again, as I said, check the links out or consult your Autodesk reseller for this particular plugin if you're interested, and I'll be back in a few days with another Balkan Architect tutorial. Also, if you would like more tutorials on all of the rest of these tools, make sure to tell me that in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video, and I'll see you soon. Have a nice day.